Oh, I guess it's going. Hey, y'all, what's going on? Okay, before I go further, and I posted it on my Twitter and my Facebook. Sorry, I'm not on cam. I'm a little bit under the weather, and this is one of them days where I just, it's just one of them days. It's one of them days, but, and hopefully y'all will bear with me on this one. You know what I'm in here about. You know I'm in here to talk about the reunion part 2, the Households of Atlanta reunion part 2, that garbage, that mess. Let's just do it, y'all. First off, let me say this, and I feel I need to say this, even though I shouldn't have to, but I do feel like I need to say this. I am not team anybody. And y'all know here lately I've just been putting up little short clips when I'm watching the show. No, it is not the review or anything like that. It's just little short clips, which I have the right to put on my channel if I want to. And y'all seem to enjoy it. Nothing long or whatever. But I went back and I looked at my, comments and things like that. Because early on I can kind of catch up with them and see them, before it gets to be too many or whatever. And it was a couple of people who wrote Team Kenya. One person wrote that and it was like, why you mad? Like, first of all, it's a show and it's TV, and why the fuck don't you have a life? Secondly, I look at it for entertainment value. For real. Yes, just like on any other show, you have your favorites and the ones that, you feel are the villain or whatever. But it's never that deep. You bitches getting on these teams and things and jumping on in these jobs of being team members and shit and that. You know what I mean? Like, what is that? Like, I'm really team nobody. That's some bullshit. It really is. So you never have to come over with that. From the gate, from the door, I have made it clear that Kenya is not someone that is my favorite. But I have gave the bitch, if she was right, I gave it to the bitch. Just like if she wrong, I'm going to give it to the bitch in my opinion on how I feel. This is my opinion, just like you have the right to yours, but team this and team that, that bullshit, miss me with that. So I'm going to tell you right motherfucking now. I'm going to just block your ass and keep it fucking moving. And that's on either side. We don't do teams. Most everybody that watches this channel is adults. I'm just saying team. Anywho, y'all, let me move forward because it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. With, this whole thing of doing reviews on these smutty ass motherfucking reality ass shows, which I told you, I'm really getting tired of this ratchet shit. I don't know if I'm getting reality TV overload or what. Or let me correct that. Scripted reality. It's fun and this and that and other, but when it gets to be too fucking far-fetched, I can't even deal with it. And you're trying to tell me that it is partially reality. No, I can deal with it when you tell me that this is strictly fictional. Then it's a plot and a storyline. But when you're trying to fake the funk and pass it as something else, and after so long it just gets to be ridiculous. Anywho, let's move forward. Let's move into this damn... Oh, with that being said, let me also mention one of my loves on Twitter who said, much love. You talking about Mama Joyce's wigs, but sometimes your wigs, when you come on, they look a mess. And I will be the first one to say, y'all, this wig look a mess. I'm never that bitch thinking I'm doing it every day because I don't mind raising my hand and say, this motherfucker look a fool on me because I see me before you see me. That's all I'm saying. I just feel the need, to say that. Like, I'm like, okay. And the way you wrote it, why are you even following me anyway? Because obviously you not digging what I'm putting down. So just ease on through. I respect your opinion and keep it moving. It's simple as that. Okay. Now we can get into the fucking reunion. Well, y'all, I'm going to tell you. This was some bullshit derived straight from hell. First of all, the damn reunion was boring as hell. And I felt some kind of way, first of all, seeing that Portia was gone. And let me just check you, Andy, because at one point you said, oh, well, Portia, it was almost like you were alluding to that she felt like she needed to go. Like it wasn't you that went in there and told her to go home, all of that bullshit. Like you wanted her to apologize for what? Well, I guess she could. If she felt, because Portia really did feel like she had completely jumped out her frame. And that was, she was sorry. Now, she might apologize to her cast members or whatever. Now, some people say she might need to apologize to Kenya, but, okay, whatever. To each his own. If it was me, no, bitch, you wouldn't get nothing from me but what you got. So, Andy, you making it seem like she excused herself, like this was her that made this decision. Stop it. And honey, I don't know why you blowing so much. I know why. I'm gonna say this is my theory on why I believe that you are Trump tight to the Kenya train. I think it's because maybe because you get crossed at Nene, and I kind of laid this out, y'all, on the Much Love from Nina site, so y'all can go check that post out. But Nene is one of, and is the only one that's still there as the original cast member. I think Nene knows a whole bunch of shit. I think you know that if Nene's gone, however much people say they hate Nene, folks will be like, oh, I don't know that I'm here for watching this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you think that Kenya could be that catalyst to maybe boot Nene out or whatever. Or you might have thought she was a good counterpart to Nene. Or maybe you thought Nene was going to let you and Miss Sooty ass Kenya get her out of her frame where she's ready to fight and lose her job. She's a little bit smarter than that. Although I don't agree with the shit that you doing, Lanithia Leaks, because you are doing the most right now. But I just don't understand, Andy, what this whole thing is with you holding on to Kenya. Now, you let Cynthia go because apparently she don't have no storyline. What the fuck storyline do Kenya have? Because you know it ain't going to be... She's not going to process them powdered eggs no time soon. And you know that man is fictitious. Shit, as far as we know, in her imagination land, bitch, you, Andy, could be the prince. Come on now. I'm just saying. What is her storyline? What is it that she does? I'm just trying to understand that. Now, some people felt like she kind of kept the drama going because this was a boring ass season. And I will agree on that. This was one of the more boring seasons. So I will say that she brought a little spice this year. Somewhat. Now that Apollo's probably not going to be there. So what's going to be her motivation? Cynthia's going to be gone. So who's she going to film with? Who's going to film with Kenya? I'm just curious. Who wants to be bothered with Kenya? Who wants her to be slinging that sludge and slosh all over them? Who is going to film with her? The sad part is that maybe, Kenya, you could have brought something good to the table. But instead of you coming in, because I pray to God that this is really not your personality and this is just the scripted part of it. Instead of you playing up to your own personality or whatever, or bringing something good, you decided to come in here and, start, bring the drama or whatever. But with that being said, that's what reality TV is. That's what we watch for, is the drama. And I will grant you that. But I'm trying to understand, when you burn all the bridges, boo, when they say that they not going to film with you, period, how we gonna see you? That's all I'm saying. And like Nene said, you and your $2.50, and I clearly knew what that was. Lanithia Lee makes the most on there, and you make the very least. But moving on along. Okay, I just felt the need to say that, y'all. Just felt like I needed to say that. Now let's move on. Okay, so Y'all sitting there, Andy's saying his whole speech of we don't do this. You're saying we fight with, we don't do that. You don't put your hands on, we fight with words, this and that and other. Okay. Okay. And then, bitch, you said you was one of the best ones at doing it. And I was like, bitch, when? Maybe I'm delusional. Was this when you was reading Cynthia, or was this when you was reading Portia or whatever? Because God knows you did read Portia down this whole season because she was not with that. But I'm trying to understand when, really when. Like, girl, please, honey, it don't take long to get you together. And it just like Portia got you together when she said your barren ass and all you could say was, is that Christian like? Girl, please, come on. You don't want to do the widths of the motherfucking words, do you? This is where I have a problem. This is where, Lanithia, this is when I want you to put that lethal ass mouth of yours on her ass. This is what I want you to step up and treat her the way you treating Cynthia, which we all know does not have a backbone or whatever. I am not going to be the one to sit on here and say that you was completely right, because you was not. In the way you was acting. Yes, you showed them pictures and this and that and other, but all of that was to save face. Because of how you looked on the reunion. You do come off as heartless. You do come off as a bitch who don't care nothing about nothing but yourself. You do come off as if, as long as it's going your way, it's okay. You do come off that way. All that eye rolling and this and that and other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. But when you needed to whip that shit out, which I will say, Miss Kenya, you did kind of match wits with Lanithia when she said Portia, and then you hit her with Marlo. Touche, bitch, because she don't want it with Marlo. Nene, I'm under the impression you don't want it with Marlo. Now, you would say that, oh, I don't have time. I'm not going to stoop to her level. I'm not going to give her no rise or whatever. That could be 10% of it. But I do believe the other 90% is because Marlo will match words with you verbatim, word for word, and read you dust. Now, you will throw a little dust at her and you can read. But what I'm trying to understand is when you need to do it to a person like Kenya, you don't do it. But you sit on there, and as Cynthia's crying, and she is, y'all, we know Cynthia don't have no backbone. We know she don't. But with all that said, given that you and her had been friends at one point, couldn't you have at least, because y'all did the reunion long before you did this whole shit that you did with Andy live and this and that and other, okay? So then, and you just put the nail in the coffin then. But couldn't you have at least left it at, couldn't you have been somewhat compassionate or whatever? I'm just trying to understand that. Now, you and Cynthia, which I already know, you and Cynthia was cool. Y'all were all cool afterwards and this and that and other. You thought the shit was done at Mexico, but let's keep it all the way 100. Because if Cynthia had any backbone, and had she have been anyone else, and you called somebody else's husband a bitch, you would have had the answer to that shit. I'm just saying, but Cynthia don't. You took advantage of the fact that she does not have that she is not that kind of vicious that you are. You said it so freely and so loosely out of your mouth when you said it, which let me agree and high five with you. He do act like that, and he does need to get out of women's business. You do need to find you something else to do, Penelope, because I'm over you. But with all that said, Nene, you said it so easy and sashayed off so like it was nothing because you knew whose husband you were saying it about. You knew he didn't even have backbone enough to check you. And damn sure Cynthia didn't. But had it have been, I'll say me. And girl, you all right with me? I'm gonna call it as I see it. Now, those who disagree, that's fine. Y'all know we agree to disagree. But had it have been me, now I'm not gonna say I would have laid hands on you, but bitch, I would have read you your motherfucking rights. I would have read you, bitch. I would have went to the Congress Law Library, bitch, and read you your benediction. Had you have come for mine like that. But you knew what you was doing because Cynthia's weak. And now this is what makes you look extra bad. You can show the pictures or do whatever you want to do. But you look bad because of the timing and all of that. Now you want to use Cynthia's timing on her. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Because I do understand that you sat up and was like, well, why is she? You know what I'm saying? I thought this was squashed. You thought it was squashed. You know Cynthia and Penelope need the money, honey. They gonna roll with the punches. And I've seen the tweets and some extra shit. But you knew that there was no way in the world you was gonna be able to. How do you call your friend's husband a bitch like that and think it's gonna be the same? Now y'all could be cordial, which bitch I'm gonna keep it funky. I couldn't be cordial with you, but for my paper, bitch, yeah, I could be. As long as you didn't come for me. As long as your ass didn't come no more. Now, I would have had words to say to you. But I would have kept it cordial for my motherfucking paper. Which I understand that Cynthia has to do that. You know. And you know just as well. And I know we're supposed to be talking about the reunion. Y'all, this is just what's on my mind when I think about this shit. You know more so than any that Cynthia needed her coin on the show. You knew when you sat on that live show, you knew then that Cynthia was going. But that was your way of letting her know for sure and throwing her out there when you could have threw her a bone knowing her situation or whatever. Even if you wasn't cool with her, bitch, you been around her child or whatever. You know she needs some money more so than anything. But we're going to go on. We're going to move forward. So, you sat there and watched Cynthia go through that. You rolled your eyes and you did all of that. And you let her know there's no way y'all can be friends. Yada, yada, yada. And you really didn't even give a damn. You did seem heartless, thoughtless, and all of that. So I guess that's all right with you. I did see the proof, Cynthia, girl. You did backpedal. Because y'all was friends. After this, you was hanging out. You was going to every appearance with her. You was hanging on her coattail and all of that. And not just you. You and Penelope was hanging on her coat. But Nene, honey, I don't know who they're like, bitch. I can't go 6 months back, bitch. I never would keep somebody's text for 6 months. Child, please. I can't. You know. But I guess you kept it for just such an occasion. And given the dirty, underhanded shit that goes on with these reality shows, especially when you're talking about the hoes, I guess you do gotta have some shit like that. But with all that said, let's move forward because Nene, I could talk about you forever for the way that you done. But I'm gonna save some. And I'm gonna also say, Cynthia, like I said, you did backpedal or whatever. Why didn't you? And then Nene, you said, let's talk about this separately or whatever. I don't want to talk about my friendship with them. They don't have nothing to do with it. And that's you again being like, you know, fuck them. I'm just working with these hoes like you above these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you've been on there longer. And yes, honey, you make the most coin. And there is no way in the world. And this is what Kenya needs to learn. That they going to call the shots when it comes to you because they are not. Kenya, you just need to stop, baby. But they got something for your ass. And I'm going to get into that on down the road. Anywho, but it's like you disvaluing the other ladies, like, oh, they don't need to be, it ain't got nothing to do, yeah, I don't care, and this and that and other. And every now and again, Andy tried to check your boobs. And Andy, you did check her a couple of times. A couple of times. Moving on along. Okay, let's move forward. Can I have just a moment? I'm gonna need a moment to talk about, as much as I really don't want to talk about Mama Joyce, and I don't care what nobody think, Mama Joyce looked the motherfucking fool up there. You were disgraceful. You really were. When I tell you, you was buffooning and cooning on that motherfucking stage, I mean that. You soft-toed that stage. Girl, you must have been drunk on pills or whatever. I have never felt as bad for Candy as I felt for her watching that. And you say, oh, I lost this weight, stress, and I didn't know. I wish Todd would have came. And then when you kept on saying, oh, is it next week, this week? Girl, please, you are disgusting. And I am so sorry, Candy, to say that, because I don't want nobody disrespecting my mother, but I'm going to call a spade a spade. And anything that I'm saying, you seen the show, honey. You ain't even got to see the show. You live with her, for most of your life. You were horrible. And the rest of y'all, including Lanithia Leaks, y'all just ate it all up. Y'all was like, oh, Mama Joyce, she's being mama. And then when you and Nene had that stripper hole hand clap moment, which, honey, I was in here hand clapping too, and I think just about every other mother was. Because, honey, I'm here to tell you, you will do what you have to do for your children or whatever. So I'm with you on that. What I don't get is, it seems to me like you deliberately tried to hurt Candy on purpose. Why are you so miserable and hateful? Because you are. You really are. Now, no, we don't know you personally. We only know what we see. And yes, you did try to get pictures and this and that and other. Todd, and girl, you are in it for coin. And how dare you sit up there and say that Candy ate? And I'm so glad, Candy, you spoke and said, now, wait a minute. Are you saying that I never, I'm so glad she spoke up on that. Now, come on. I feel like Candy is going to always do what's right by her mother. I feel like like she said, and she shut it down after so long when it was getting deep, and she was like, she don't have to answer for none of that, because I can do for my mama, whatever I want to do for my mother. And and you're right, Candy, and I agree with you. And this is why I'm always conflicted when it comes to talking about Mama Joyce. Because Candy has not been my favorite character, but she is a wonderful businesswoman. You can't take that away from her, or none of that. And one thing about it, I know that she loves her mother and she loves her child. So I have to admire and like that about her. So I'm always conflicted, because I'm looking at your mama and I can't give her a pass if I'm not giving, nobody else a pass. You have to call it as you see it. And your mother is mean and hateful and evil in my eyes. That's my eyes. And I see the love you try to give her and the understanding. When is she going to respect you as a woman, my Lord? Mama Joyce, honey, when are you just going to say whatever she's doing in her life, let her do it? She is grown. If something happens, if this break up, I will just be there when the chips fall, and I'll be there to try to help her put it together. You seem to want to add to, make it, what? Because you not happy? Because you don't have that in your life, you don't want her to have it? You want her to be as bitter as you? No. Candy, I'm so glad you and Ty got married. Live your life. I don't believe you accumulated all the money that you have in the businesses and all of that being done at all. So I believe you got this. So Mama Joyce, back. That's what you need to do. And sitting up there and doing all of this and pruning. And then Andy was like, well, didn't you say to Phaedra that you was going to choke her? And you was like, just a little bit. Girl, you was up there buffooning. Ooh, baby. I can't. And I will say it again. Your dress look great, honey. Your body is everything. I wish I could look like that at your age. You look fabulous from the hairline down. But that wig was atrocious. Candy, get your mama's wig together. I like Mama Joyce's hair. Her own hair looks so much better. Why did they put that on her? It looked like one of them. Okay, let's move forward. Anywho, so we have that. Then let me bounce and go to the whole thing of where Nene and let me say this too, Candy, because you do feel some kind of way about Phaedra being okay with Nene. You do seem to be feeling some kind of way about that. Phaedra's your friend, honey. We was able to see that this year. But she's a grown woman, y'all grown woman, and you can have more than one friend. Now, Nene was like, why do you keep bringing it up? Or do you not want us to be all right? Or what do, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to understand what's going on. When the whole shit went down and y'all went to old dude's place and he's riding around and talking about folks like a dog, this and that and other, which I never would have sat in that mother. He'd have had to pull that bitch over. And I'm telling you, I would have got a cab or something. The dude that y'all both dated and this and that and other. And Nene, you could have did without saying that Phaedra was the head doctor and this and that and other. Because, girl, do you want me to believe that you were stripping and you never kissed the pee-pee? Girl, stop. Stop it. Now, y'all know Phaedra is not my favorite. You know, or whatever. But I did feel like Nene had, you know, went too far with that. Like, what was the whole purpose of that? And then Nene, you know, Phaedra ended up being right, and we know this on down the road, about you knowing her. Like, girl, I'm not understanding why 1 minute you'll be like, I keep it funky, I keep it real, I ain't got nothing to hide, and da 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 da. But yet, you do. You do. Anywho, they talked about that and the dude, and of course, every now and then, Kenya would pop up in a conversation that really had nothing to do with her, trying to make her sooty ass relevant. It's some shit that had nothing to do with her. Then, of course, in between there, her and Phaedra had words back and forth. Phaedra told her that she's never going to get a man, so she can't never be a real housewife or whatever. And she tells her, well, your man strays and this and that and other. Girl, okay, who wants to be the home-wrecking hoe? I guess if that's the position you're going for, then bitch, you got it. That's what your $2.50 gets you. That. And then you want to be all upset when she say, because you couldn't hit her with nothing else when she said your ass was barren. But I thought, Phaedra, girl, you was really nice about it, honey, because I'm telling you, I'd have let her have it and them powdered eggs. I surely would have, because she don't feel no kind of way about letting you have it or anybody else have it. So I would have let her and them powdered eggs have it. Them non-childbearing hips that she don't have it. I sure would have. And let me go to this while you're saying about the props and this and that and other. You're not, you know, that was fun and games. Like, when does that become fun? And then, bitch, you couldn't even get your prop together when it was coming to the bullhorn and all of that on the last one. You couldn't even put the batteries in. What do you mean it's all in fun? And do you really think it's okay for you to take that scepter or whatever and put in her face and that's it? It's okay? And for all the people who think it's okay now, this and that and other, if you violate my motherfucking space, I'm here to tell you and call me what you want to call me, because I'll be that. If you violate my space, bitch, I am going to treat you as an enemy combatant, bitch. I'm going to treat you like the Taliban or whatever, honey. Because you done violated my space. Now think what you want to think of that. And I mean, I felt that way from a young child to now, and will still feel that way if God blesses me to be 70 and 80. Trust me. You're not going to violate my space, and that's what she did. Kenya, you did that to get a rise out of her. You knew Portia was weak, and you knew that you had wore her out, and you knew that it hadn't been too long that y'all signed those papers where if anybody gets touched, they get fired. You knew. That's why they had the conversation with her, trying to save her. But anywho, you saying that that's not getting in somebody's space or whatever. Yes, it is. With that being said, and now I want to go to this. Cynthia, I got to go back to you for a minute, because you don't, every time I turned around, you was shaking your head to everything. Bitch, what do you agree and disagree with? Like, you just don't have, do you have an opinion? Do you have, girl? Oh, I don't, okay, I'm over it. Okay, moving on along. Now we'll go to, let me see, what else? Because it was really boring, y'all. It was really boring. Now, I will say this, though, Kenya, I do have to give you this, because you did get under Lanithia Leak's skin. You really did. And she was like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore this evening, or whatever. You did get under her skin, especially when you said, Well, it's a couple of things you said. But you told her, if you can't be friends, which was foolish, because you and Cynthia had words as well. So what was your point with that? If you can't be friends with Cynthia, you can't be friends with nobody. And, and this whole thing of, everybody that's friends with you, you're no longer friends with them and this and that and other, which does vote terribly for you, Nene. But of course, we don't see all your friends, because as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to keep it funky, the friends that you have on the show are all make-believe. To me, all of those friendships are make-believe in your eye, because that's your job. And that's how you look at it. And I guess the sooner the other ones learn that, they'll realize and understand why you be making faces and blinking and carrying on. Which is unfortunate, because in the beginning, Lanithia, you kept it all the way funky and you was real. Now this new thing of disregarding everybody as if there's nothing and everybody's beneath you, boo, don't do that. Because you just in Atlanta. You act like you the Beverly Hills hoes. Not that them hoes is any better, but I'm just saying, if we're doing it on coin and this and that and other, let's don't do it. Anywho, what else? At some point, like I already said, Phaedra and them was kind of into it or whatever, hun, Phaedra. Y'all, I think the third part's gonna be better. It was just, this one was really boring, but it was very unfortunate because, Nene, like I said, you came off as a heartless ass bitch. When you can't show no compassion, like, I don't know if they told you to not be compassionate at all to nothing. Come on now. I'm just saying, I just would have never even wanted myself to look like that. Even though I know in your mind you was probably thinking, now me and her was hanging, we were doing fine, and now all of a sudden here she go with these old wounds, this and that and other. This is what the show does drag up. We know that y'all taped it months ago. And it's a little bit different when you re-see it or you see what somebody had to say about you on the slide when you wasn't there. But then Cynthia, girl, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that other than I feel like Nene was truly heartless when coming to Cynthia. Like, bitch, you could have even tried to make yourself look better. You could have just said, you could have been like, I would hope that our friendship could be mended and we will talk about this after the show. And that would have been better than that stuff that you did. You said that, but it was the way you said it with your smug ass attitude. I'm just saying. Now, you want this woman to kiss your ass after you called her a bitch. Her husband a bitch, which he is. Penelope is. Uncle Ben is. Yes. And y'all, apparently on this third season, on this third reunion, he's definitely going to get his peach. He deserves it, honey. Mama Joy says she want her peach. I pray to God they don't give her one. I hope to God they give her a grapefruit. Anywho, moving on along. Y'all, that's just how I feel about it. I'm not going to, this video's longer than I think it should be because I really am over this. I'm really tired of seeing Kenya. I'm tired of this whole, I understand and see the game that you're playing, boo-boo, but you playing awful hard, honey. You getting down and dirty, or at least trying to get down and dirty for penance in the whole scheme of things. But I guess it is something to you. I guess so. But girl, do you really think that this is this really what you want to be out there? Is this the character you want to play? And I'm just curious, who's gonna film with you? I'm just wondering. Like, nobody. Cynthia is gone, which was the only person that was your friend, that was gonna be your friend on the show. And let me say this, and well, y'all go over and read I'm gonna leave the link below. Y'all go over and read the story, and maybe y'all can get some teas over there. Look under Freshly Brewed, because honey, Andy is already putting things into play. But let me refresh that. Let me say that a different way. Nene is already putting things into play to get your ass out of there. However slick you think you are, honey, the game's afoot. And she is over your ass. I might have to watch next season just to see you crash and burn, boo-boo. I might have, although I don't agree with who they want to bring back to get you together, because I really feel like Nene needs to go back to old Nene and get you together. But I understand that she has to protect her coin, this and that and other, being that she is the breadwinner. So get your money, boo. But they got you, boo, cause they gonna go back to their old formula. They're gonna bring back some oldies, some oldies but goldies. I say oldies and goldies. I don't know. Anywho, I can't wait to see what happens, how this shit comes out, or whatever. I'm looking forward to that. Lanithia, let me also say this, boo. If you're gonna stand in your shit, stand firm in it, honey. Don't try to tweet something and put pictures out and then try to snatch the post down, boo boo, after Mother Andy calls you and says, okay, which I know that was a power move. You getting to him, letting him know, you know what, I will blow the roof off of this with what I know. Then he calls you. Y'all get together and you decide to take your stuff down. Stand firm in your shit. If you really that girl, stand in it. If you really that woman, stand in that. Which you did. I've never known you to take nothing down off of your social media. You went as far as to be as petty as to bring up these pictures and do all of this kiddie childish ass shit. And then you took it down. But girl, you know, we in a screen capture kind of world, boo boo. You knew as soon as it hit there, somebody was gonna get it. You smart, you know. Anywho, y'all, that's my thoughts on this. I again, you know, and y'all might be disappointed with me or whatever. I really am tired of some of this wretched ass shit, and now we got the most wretchedest shit of all getting ready to come on. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I don't even know if I'm prepared. I'm ready to see some fairy tale shit. You know what I mean? Like some shit that I know is fictional, because some of this stuff is getting on my nerves. It's getting to be too much. And with that being said, another thing that is getting on my nerves is how people get all the way in their feelings about people who are reviewing the show and just giving their opinion. Like, you know, if you don't say what I want you to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to flag this. I'm going to do something vicious to you or whatever. Damn. What? You can't just say, okay, I don't like her opinion and what she says and just move on. You can't do that. You got to try to tear somebody down or whatever the case may be, or tear they shit down. Like, I don't get that. And this is why it's getting old to me. This is why I feel like I want to go all the way back to what I used to talk about. You know, which I've always talked about shows or whatever. But I also talked about other things because I really feel like I need to break this monopoly up. Because I'm getting tired of talking about these ratchet assholes. I'm getting sick of it. So I'm going to do a call to action right now. We need some new shows. Put this shit down in the comment section and let me know. Because I need something to break this up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We just came off of the basketball host, which was ridiculous. I just need something to break this up, y'all. And I'm just kind of getting tired of it. And this whole team this, team that, and we this, and you mad, and bitch, please. I mean, even if I don't like Kenya or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If I'm mad, I'm wishing a bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at her. I just hate the character that she's playing. Because, y'all, I truly look at this the same as I look at other shows. I know this is scripted reality. It is a character that they playing. What I'm mad the most at about Kenya is the fact of how, you know, they let Portia go. I just don't think they needed to let Portia go. But it is what it is. I do understand the viewpoints of those who say you don't never, you know, you fight with your mouth and not with your hands or whatever. But everybody has a breaking point. And with that said, let me say this. If a motherfucker's breaking in your house and you catch them, you gonna fight him with words? Not. You gonna fight him with everything in there. And if you was gonna fight, I pray to God you're not. You better try to fight for your life. I'm just saying. So I don't know, y'all. Leave some shows down there. I do have 2 videos already done. I just need to kind of edit them about the Games of Thrones. And yes, for my babies who are watching Salem, I watched it and we're going to talk about it. But I'm just afraid that, yeah, that I'm not gonna do the show any justice, because I'm still trying to figure out. I think I know why old girl is mad and what she lost, this and that and other, but they seem to be going back and forth, and it's just so much ridiculous stuff going on that I'm like, what? Bitch, what? Right, that's how I am, So anywho, I do have the Games of Thrones video. I just need to edit it. It's about 2 episodes. I haven't did one talking about the new one, so we will be talking about that. But y'all just drop it below. Suggest some more shows, please, something. And I love when y'all come to the Much Love page and stuff like that, and suggest shows and this and that and other, because I really am getting tired of it. I'm not saying that I'm not going to talk about reality TV. I am, but I just need to break it up and do something but you know what I'm saying? Something to break that up, because it's just getting to be too much, and people are just getting too deep into their motherfucking feelings about these motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about you or me. Let me add me in there. So I don't know, y'all. I'm out of here. This video's been too long. I'm sorry that I'm not on camera. I'm just kind of feeling a little ugh. If you was on, the Much Love page or whatever, then, what I'm saying, you already know the deal. So I'm just not, I'm just not feeling well. So this is one of those times that I'm not on camera. So hopefully y'all won't be like, and this bitch is off camera. I need to see her face. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just not feeling well today. So y'all leave it below. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all be sure to go over and check out Ashley Miller, and I'll say this again, Ashley Miller's channel, because she did her reviews, as well as Justin. I'm sure Rox probably has hers up. Bondi Blue, I know she does. Mr. Still Standing, the Scorpion Show, when they put theirs up. Y'all be sure to go over, because we all in this community together talking about the same thing. And y'all be sure to look at everybody, because you get a little bit of this and that from everybody. You know what I mean? So just be sure to do that. So y'all, I'm out of here. Much love. Let me get my shit back up here. Lord, 41 minutes. Lord, I'm out.